We were taught that if we work hard enough, we will have a good life. We will have a successful life. So many people who work very hard, but they're not there yet. They feel suffer. They feel tired. They feel hungry. They feel depressed. So many people feel like how hard we have to work to make a good life, to have a good life. We work so much, but we did not get much from it. It makes many people want another way of living. They want more choice in their life. Many young people who study very hard in university, in the education system, after they finish education system, but then when they look at other people who are working hard, they don't want to be like that. They want another way of living. They want more new choice in their life too. But we were taught that we have not many choice in our life. We have to be engineer, we have to be doctor, we have to be politician, we have to be business person. We have to be a few career that we were taught that that's what we can be. But this career is come to the dead end now. It's not fun anymore. It's not happy anymore. So many people want to go back home. It's one choice that they can think about it now. Go back home, because most of people are from the rural country. They move to the city because they believe that they have a dream that they will have a good life. But when they struggle so long in the city, they did not get what they want. They just think about home, going home. But going back home causes a lot of more fear for them, because what they can do at home. Because the imagination of people before they left their home at the beginning, they think their home is poor. There's no job. Who's going to hire you to work in the village? No work, no job in the village. So if they go back now, it's going to be worse than before. How can they survive in that situation? This is fear that most of people have in our head, because we were trained most of our life that you have to study very hard. So you can become a doctor, you can become government official, you can work as a business person. You cannot think about any other career more than that. That's why we have more fear, more worry. So going back home now is different. In the past, people who going back home is mean the people who fail in their life. They will be looked down on from relative, from family, from people in the village. If you come back home, you're a failure. You cannot have a good life. You fail. So that's the feeling of people in the past. But now, for people who have imagination, people who can think out of the box, don't think like normal. Going home is become something different. Going home is a freedom, it's happiness, it's a new life. They can design their life the way they want it to be. But if we think the same way, it will be hell, it will be suffering. because we cannot get a job. But if we think out of the box, we don't need to looking for a job, but we can create a job, because anything can be jobs. If we don't attach to the career that we were taught from the beginning, we have so many jobs. We can create it ourselves. So now there are many young people going home. They went going back home, and then they start to look at what they have in their home, and look at themselves. What do they like to do? How can they create a new way of living there? Going home, it doesn't mean you have to go back to be a farmer. It doesn't mean you have to do the same thing that our parents, our grandparents did in the past. But it can be anything else. Now, new era, we are so lucky. We have internet, we have logging system, we have truck, we have cars, we have many things now. We have so many business support us now. So going back home now is a big choice. It's a big chance for many people who can do many things. So the first thing is think about what do we like. Investigate ourselves, discovering ourselves. What do we like to do? And then when we discover ourselves, we like to do this, do that, do this, do that, and discover around ourselves, what kind of assets do we have? We have this good culture, we have good food, we have good farming system, we have plants, we have vegetable, we have many things. All of those things can turn to our career. I can make income from everything. Some people just saving seeds, go back home and they sell local seed, they're saving seed and they sell seeds online. They can make income. Some people go back home and they found that, wow, we have so good food in our village. They just start a small restaurant there. People in the village start to gossiping. How can we open the restaurant in the village? Who's gonna come and eat this? But villagers don't know that they have internet. They have cars. A lot of people have cars, so they can advertise their restaurant in the village. It's far away at the end of the road, but their restaurant, they sell local food with local ingredient. Tastes different. You never see it in the market. When they advertise on the media, not very long, many people come and eat it. The business growing, and they can hire people nearby to work with them. In Thailand, there's one guy who went back home. In his area is no tourists because it's nothing interesting in his area. And he started a small guest house. He make a guest house, and then because he found that in the canal next to his land, there's one kind of plant they grow in the water. They have flowers under the water. It's very rare. So he just grabbed that point to advertise his resort. And now that resort becomes so popular. He hired more than 30 people in his village to work. So this is something that shows that we can doing anything anywhere now. It's not like 50 years ago. We cannot do something like this. This is the best chance for us to go back home. If we start with zero, start with our own labor. Don't think like normal business person who start with a lot of money. We need to think like a poor people who start with our own labor. What we have, what we can do. Start with that small thing first, but we use media, we use many tools around us to help us. So now many young people in Thailand, they went back home. They start to create new products, new way of living, new way of farming, new way of business in the village, in the remote area. There are so many things happen like this. In the past, when we think about business, we need to think about the good location. We need to think about in the city that where people communicate a lot, commute a lot. In the past, the market moved to the customer, but now many business, they draw customer to their place. So going back home now, it's become a new thing for new generation. It's not like before anymore. Many people in the past, when they go back home, they feel bad, they feel low, they feel ashamed. But now, many people who go back home, they feel proud, they feel exciting to create a new thing, to start a new life. They don't need to do farming. Even they do farming, they do different from their parents, their grandparents. They don't do farming with chemical, with a lot of things like that. They start to do some kind of farming. They sell seedling, they sell seeds, they sell products, not produce. They process them. So there are many where we can go. Life has more freedom. Life has more choice if we think in this way. So now it's heaven for many people who can think out of the box. It's the real heaven for many people. So going back home now is something fun. It's something exciting to go home, go back home, develop our hometown, to make it alive, to make it sustain, develop it in a sustainable way. Don't use chemical. Do business in a sustainable way. Use local ingredient, support local culture, local way of living. So many things can be attractive. Many things can be a good products. And those products will improve the environment, the society, and everything to make it better and better. So now there are so many young people who have a lot of imagination, a lot of talents, a lot of skill in different way. If we go back home now, we can create new way of living. We can create new business, new way of farming. We can create new culture, new environment that make it sustainable, make it sustain itself longer than this. We'll enjoy it more. So going home is possible for many people who have home to go back. But for people who don't have home, you can support other people. Or you can learn from them and you can buy your own land. You can start your own home. And many things possible if we aim to go to that point. We will get there one day. I wrote a book about my experience before I left Bangkok to went back home. Now it's available on Amazon if you're interested. Check it out.